welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Rosie Henshaw. If you're new here, then welcome, it's lovely to meet you. And if you're already existing, guys, then thank you so much for coming back. I really do appreciate it. So grab yourselves a nice cup of tea and some snacks and let's get into the thrifted haul. I have done incredibly well. So this is no secret. If you've been on my channel for a while, you will know I absolutely love going in charity shops, boot sales, antique shops. I love that kind of stuff. Now, obviously, if you have a different style to me, you might not be liking stuff that you can get thrifted. I personally really love sort of old country style stuff with a bit of a modern sort of Cath Kidston-y Emma Bridgewater twist on it. So not really antique-y like the dark woods and stuff. I like more of like the antique pines, and I like a lot of creams and sage greens, a little bit of red. Floral, I'm that kind of girl. But do you know what? It's turned out very well that that's my taste, because I feel like you can really get some amazing finds in the charity shops. I feel like you can get pretty much everything in a charity shop regardless of your taste. I feel like if you're more super modern, that's where sometimes it'll be a little bit harder to get, because I feel like when things are bashed up or a little bit broken, it adds to the sort of rustic charm, or the eclectic if it's super bright. Do you know what I mean? But if it's very modern and sleek, that's the only time it might be a bit of a problem. However, I do say that there's lots of stuff, so you should always have a look around. Now, there is a reason why I'm ranting on. It's because I gave myself a target this week. So I can't believe I've actually met my target this week. I thought it was going to take at least maybe 3-4 weeks. Keep popping in, go to different areas. I literally went into 2 charity shops and found what was on my list. So I said to myself, so I've been having a little like updo of my house, shopping my house and adding a few pops of red, making it a bit more country, a bit more me, because when we got the extension built, it was very clear after. And if you knew my kitchen before, that was not very clear. There was trinkets and stuff everywhere. But do you know what? I really wanted to just add more me into the kitchen and the little dining area. So I had a few things on my list, had a little look, so I know what I wanted to add, but I didn't want to buy new. I wanted to get some bits from the thrift shops or from the charity shops, boot sales, wherever it was going to take me to get. So I wrote down a few things that I wanted to get to add to the kitchen and the dining area, and I found some really lovely bits, so I thought I'd share them with you. So the first thing I wanted to get, so I've got my vintage scales that I got from the charity shop last year. So I know not everyone watches these videos, it's a bit of a jumble video, but I'm going to share with you anyway. So I managed to get these near my birthday time. They're quite heavy. From a little vintage like antique shop. I paid £10 for these. These were originally boots from Nottingham, and they come with like Nottingham, and they also had like loads of the little weights and stuff as well. And I do use this. Millie doesn't like using this when she bakes, so I did get her like a vintage looking one from Sainsbury's in the sale after Christmas, which you might have seen in like a sage green. So she uses that when she bakes. But I've got like this out on the side. So I wanted to get a cookbook stand to match. Ooh, rather heavy. My mum actually popped in today and we've been having a cup of tea and we've been eating donuts and sausage rolls and chatting away. And if you think I'm fast chatter, my mum is even faster than me. So I'm rather out of breath because we're just not shut up chatting and laughing and stuff. So I am a little bit out of breath. So I did want to get a cookbook stand for Millie. So she likes to bake lots of cakes and stuff like that. And I quite like as well, especially in the autumn winter, cooking from a recipe book. I've got so many cookbooks that I've got from thrift shops or charity shops and been gifted for Christmas gift, birthday, etc. And I thought it'd be nice to have them out on a stand. Now, I had a little look at wooden ones, but I wanted to get a really nice cast iron one. I had a little look on in the new shops. They're about £50 brand new. But I wanted to get like either a dark green or a red or a cream. And I found this really lovely off-white. So it's a bit more white than the scales, but it doesn't really matter. And to be completely honest with you, when you're thrifting, I think you have got to be a little bit more open-minded, because I saw this, thought, wow, it's cast iron, but I wasn't really sold on this design. But then when I thought about it, I thought, you know what? To be honest with you, it's always going to be out with a book on it, so it's not going to make much difference. You're not going to see this bit. I did kind of have in mind, you know, the very floral, sort of scribey, swirly pattern I wanted. But as I thought, obviously it's always going to have a cookbook on it anyway. It does also have these little bits of white string on it with the little brass holders to keep the book pages down. I think these are a new edition. They're very similar to like what you'd have on a blind. So I'm going to change these because they're very stark white and look quite cheap. So I'll either put some like jute on these or some like little red gingham ribbon. I think might look quite cute to add some pops of red. And it's got the little lever here at the back. It's got the little stamp print on the front. This is Victor England. Really, really pretty. There's a few little bits and bobs like missing on it, but I think that just adds to the charm, to be completely honest with you. And I got this from British Heart Foundation and paid £4.50 for this. And I think this is really beautiful. This doesn't have the little ledge. I know some of the newer ones have like, you know, like the little ledge that sort of flaps up at the front as well to keep like a tablet kept on it quite flat. You would be able to put a tablet on this, but I think you'd have to lean it back a little bit just so that it don't slip off. But I thought that was a real bargain, £4.50 for that. So I got that. Then, when I show you one of these things, I know you're just gonna absolutely love it. So I also wanted to get another large white mixing bowl. These aren't probably that hard to get. However, I did have in mind that I wanted to get, you know, they're very similar to the Mason Cash ones, like the more vintagey looking ones where the bowl's kind of like, got like a very tapered bottom rather than a round bowl. I have looked for a long while, found a lot of patterned ones, ones with writing and stuff on, but when I saw this one, it was exactly the sort of bowl that I wanted. I think it looks really pretty and it looks rather vintage. And I got this as well from the British Heart Foundation, and this is Maxwell's Williams White Basics, and it's a first quality porcelain. So this was £5, probably more than I was expecting to pay. I know some people always say to me, Rosie, your charity shops are very, very cheap, but they are so cheap that when you pay £5 for something, you're like, £5? That's a lot. So I really love that this had this really lovely like rim detail around the top, and it's very tapered. It looks really, really vintage. Perfect for putting out crisps and stuff at a party, but also really nice to have like mixing. The reason I wanted to get a vintagey one is I went out thrifting with my friend Sarah probably about 2 years ago now, and she found a really lovely, much smaller, probably about this size, very similar shape, Fortnum & Mason one. It had the Fortnum & Mason writing on it. It was really beautiful. I did see them in there that you could buy around Christmas time, but they are really expensive. So I thought, do you know what, I'm gonna go for a similar style, and I'd need a much larger one anyway. It'd be a bit pointless just getting a small one. So I thought a really nice big mixing bowl. Gonna make some jams, you put your apples and stuff in there. I just thought it'd be really, really nice. Your berries and bits and that, your plums. I just thought it was a really, really nice bowl, so I got that. Then I've been on a mission. So one of my friends absolutely loves my utensil holder. So I got this from the Garden Trading Company, and this is the Ravello pot. This is like £22. You can buy that for £22. I know they were sold out, and I know that not on the high street we're selling these, so I think I've linked them. I can link all these bits below, I can, anything that I can. So they're not really expensive, and I really love that on my side to pop it in like on my utensils. It's meant to be a gardening pot to put plants and stuff in, but I really loved it. One of my friends, she wanted a larger one than that. She said, I want one like that, but a bit bigger so I can have my rolling pins in it. I've sent her a picture of this. She said it's too large, but then I had a little idea. I thought I'm gonna get it anyway because it's absolutely beautiful, and I'm gonna have some like flowers and stuff in it. So just outside of where my bifold doors are, I've got like a little patio area. So I've got some like old vintage terracotta pots. I used to have a really lovely old chimney pot that I used to put lavender in, but that got broken when we was getting the extension done. But I wanna have a few odd wicker baskets and have some really beautiful flowers out there because my garden's quite modern. We've got a bit of decking over the back with a kids trampoline, we've got grass, and then a patio area. We had it quite clean and easy maintenance when we got it done, just so it's really low maintenance for me really. But I do want to add some pots. So this was £20. This is a little vintagey piece, but do you know what? This is so stunning. It's in like a weird mustardy green colour. Now, when I saw the price, I asked her if she wanted this, and she was like, no, that's too big. It's too big. What brand is this? Let's have a look. Made by of Chester, Marston's, Pearson's. I don't know what that says. I'll put it closer to the screen in case anyone's got better eyesight than me. It's a bit smudged. I'm gonna give this a wash, but it's got the little handles on it and the little ridge around it. This was £20. But I asked her because I thought that's 22 and I know they don't have them for sale on there anymore. So I think they're about 35 from not on the high street. So £20, and I think they're meant to be a bit replica-y of what this originally was. But I thought, how beautiful will this look outside in the garden? Echo me. With lots of lavender in it. How beautiful will that look? And I thought, to be honest with you, some people might even say it's not frost proof or whatever. I'll have a little look, I'll have a little search, because if it's not, I even thought it'd be quite nice to have in my porch to put the umbrellas and stuff in. I could even have some flowers inside the porch where it doesn't get the frost. But I thought that was really, really pretty. And I couldn't leave that behind because I thought, I don't have a lot of antique shops where I am, but I do have a lot of charity shops and a lot of boot sales. And I just thought, that's more of an antique shop find. So I didn't really mind paying that price. So I thought if that was in an antique shop, it'd probably be about £35 instead of the 20. So I got that and I thought that was really, really lovely. Then I also wanted to get one of these. So I love watching Dainty Diaries. I think she's so wonderful. I've always watched her. I think she's really, really lovely. And you know what? She's sort of my go-to, that if I'm sort of sitting there watching a little bit of telly, having a cup of tea, having her on in the background, it's just soothing. I do like watching her videos. And she was sharing little wee Willy Winky candle holders. And I just got this that day and I was like, oh, snap. And I really loved hers. I am going to be using rub and buff on mine to make mine look brass. But I thought these would be really nice. And when she said about walking around like Victorian times, I thought that's why I'll watch her, because we're secretly quite similar. Maybe it's not a secret because we've got very similar taste actually. But when I first got it, I was like, look, gal, we're just gonna be walking around, my little dressing gown on, who's at the door? And I thought it'd be very vintagey. This one, I just took the sticker on it, this was £3. So I paid £3 for this one. I think I just get shocked with what I'm having to pay really, because I'm so used to my little £1 everything charity shop. So I don't think this is very old. You can sort of tell by the shabby chic style that it is. But I am going to rub and buff this in like a bit of brass over it. And I thought this would be really nice just on the table. So as it comes to spring, a few different candle holders and stuff on there with some candles, nice little different pots with some spring flowers in there. I've done a similar display last year, but I wanted to get one of these ones. I think they're really, really pretty, and I do like tapered candles. And I do like painting and decorating tapered candles. So I just thought, you know, I've got loads of them. If I can find little tapered candle holders, why not? And I found this one for £3 and I thought that was really, really lovely. I've wanted one of these for a little while, and to be honest with you, they're not that expensive. I do need to get one. I just keep forgetting to get one. So every time I burn a candle in my house, which isn't completely off, like very often, isn't completely, I don't know what I'm saying now, isn't very often. But when I do always think I do need to get, you know, like the wick cutters and the little snuffers, the candle snuffers. I need to get a set of those because I used to have a candle snuffer and that also broke. So I wanted to get another one. This one, I don't know if I should put away for Christmas. I feel like it's very Christmassy and it'd probably feel really special having it at Christmas. So I got this in the YMCA and this was £2.50. I feel like this is so Christmassy. It goes with my little cherub that I've got, but it's a little candle snuffer. And it's like this little angel. It's got like green wax stuck to it where I think it's put it out and obviously splashed on it. So it needs a really good wash. I'm probably going to use some Brasso on this to really get this up nice and shiny. But it's like a little angel with a little halo around it. And she's also got like a little trumpet or a little flute, whatever that is. Oh, it's like a little trumpet. And it's all like little stars cut out in her dress. And I just thought that was really beautiful for £2.50. So you can obviously put your candle out. I don't obviously need one of these. These are just one of them little fancy things. I do need wick cutters though, because I always get like, you know, like the large little black bulbous bits I pick off and then my fingers go black and I have to wash it off and it kind of stains a little bit for a bit. But I did have one of these and it is much easier because sometimes if you blow them out, or sometimes Albert goes, oh, I do it. And he wants to blow it out for me. And then the wax sort of blows within the candle everywhere. So I just thought, get one of these as well. And when I saw it, I was like, I can't really leave that behind. That screws off as well. I might glue that on actually. It's a bit of a dangerous little ball bearing. But yeah, I thought that was really, really beautiful. And I thought for Christmas, I might actually buff this up and put this away. Just get a plain one for throughout the year. So when I get this out at Christmas, I like the Christmas candles. Because that's most of the time when I do like them is in the autumn and the winter. So over Christmas, I'll be like snuffing my candles with my little Christmas angel. I thought that was nice. A big pot I've washed out and I'm going to put that outside with some lavender in it. So I'm probably going to get some lavender tomorrow. So obviously I didn't plan on styling them up, but I thought I would. And then also I've got my little, I've not brassed this up yet, I've just cleaned it, and it's perfect for putting candles out. A little snuffer. I thought it was really beautiful. Now these are an absolute steal. Now I'm a sucker for a charity shop book. Anyone that watches me will know that. I always say when you get a charity shop book, have a little look, take the label, like the slip cover off it, because sometimes the books are really, really beautiful. I use them around my house. Sometimes you get books for like 20p, and sometimes stacked up, they can look really beautiful. And I know some people will spend fortunes on like coffee table styling books. Why not go to a charity shop? Some of them are vintage books and they're far more beautiful than any of the new ones. Take the slip cover off and have them out, and you could probably spend a couple of pounds and have like quite a few. You could have a couple on a bookshelf to look really nice. I know books are meant to be read. I do know this. And obviously I do like reading, but normally the books that I like to read have kind of weird covers on them, and I don't really like the look of them. They're not very aesthetic in my brain. However, I do have a few that I like. They usually are gardening ones because I like ones that have got green covers on them. So I tend to find they're very garden-y books. I saw these anyway, and I thought these were really beautiful. But then I thought, I reckon they're a lot of money, because when I looked at them, I thought they look rather expensive. I Googled them. Now, for a used one that is paperback, they are the minimum £69 each, what I found online. You might be wizards and find them for more expensive or cheaper, please do. But I found these books. So these are the Dictionary of Gardening by the Royal Horticultural Society. They are very well looked after. So these are old books, but they're really well looked after. I love when they've got the gold on top as well, because they're easy to dust. So they've not got the gold the whole way round. But the indication of how well this has been looked after, look how white and crisp that is. They've not been put near sunlight. And they've still got that lovely old book smell. But I thought this was really nice. So I found these, and these were £5. So I found the A to C on there for £5. And then I realised that on the shelf there was the full collection. So bearing in mind they're meant to be £69 each used, I got these for £5. And then I also got the D to K, and then I got the L to Q, and then the R to Z. And honestly, not only do they look beautiful and they're going to look really, really lovely in my living room on a shelf, the pictures in these are beautiful. And there was like pictures in here as well of like how to, so for instance it's saying what soil, what the seedlings are, so seeds and sowing, what times to do it. It's showing you like germination, how deep to dig the soil and stuff like that. It's really, really handy. So I did say to Gary, so in my very modern style garden, we do have a very evergreeny sort of like hedge section where we've got this like wooden plant built up around the bottom of it. 2 of them are laurels and they have got out of control. I'm going to say that the laurels out there are probably about 12 foot each now, and we got them cut down last summer. We have to get them cut down every summer. And also when I look out the garden to the summer house, it has 2 double windows either side of the door. One of the double windows you can't even see because it's grown out so much, so we are going to have them took out this year. Laurels are great because they grow really quickly and are good for like height, get very quick, like tall for privacy and stuff. However, they grow so fast. So I'm going to take them out. We've got a red robin out there, and we've also got an azalea out there which flowers in the most beautiful pink flowers. If I had my way, I'd just have like gravel everywhere, loads of grass and just loads of like country flowers. I think that's why I love watching Dainty Diaries, because I just love a garden. It's just beautiful. That's how I'd have my garden. Probably if I didn't have 4 children, because I just feel like I wouldn't be able to dedicate enough time to the garden. If I'm honest, it would end up looking awful. And with the boys playing football, it's just not practical in my garden. When I'm older though, so now I'm just going to set off the plant pots and this little section. So once it has been dug out, I want to plant a few little like nice little flowers, put some seasonal bulbs and stuff down there. And also I want to make my grass a bit better. And I want to know what to sort of plant. And I did say to Gary as well, I did have this really old sort of like standing vegetable planter, because we did have an old beach hut in our garden, because we're literally right near the beach. And apparently when the houses were built like the 1930s, some of you might be here from originally when I first done this, you might have even seen the beach hut. They stole a beach hut from the front and popped it, and they had that as their like tea and coffee station. That's where they like had their little teas and coffees in there, and it stayed in my garden until we got it done, but it was literally falling apart. We'd had people try and fix it, and it was just crumbling. It was just completely rotten, so it had to go. But I really did love that. And if we had next to it, we had like a little planter where you could grow like little like wildflowers for the little bees and the butterflies, and that was really nice, and a little veggie bit. But I'm hoping that I might build something this year just to go as you go outside, me and my little planters, for the kids to grow some strawberries and stuff like that, and cherry tomatoes. Nothing more than I can handle. And I thought these would be quite handy as well to have a little read through, quite interesting. I find things like this interesting. If you didn't watch my video where I got my buys in the week, I'm going to quickly show you this as well, because I haven't found the shade for it yet. But I also got this lamp when we went to Cambridge in a charity shop. This was £6.50. If you haven't seen that video, I might as well show you, because you obviously love thrifted because you'd have seen the title. But I got this really beautiful lamp, and it's really lovely and speckled. It's really nice. So I'm looking for a pleated lampshade for this. So I'm going to have this out in my hallway. So I thought this would look really nice. I thought I'd show you this as well. I feel like I've absolutely struck gold with my finds, and it's just like, it's crazy really how many beautiful things you can get second hand, and they're so cheap. Because I mean, even this lamp, if you'd have bought that lamp base new, it'd be so expensive. £6.50. Like candle holders, snuffers, £2.50. These books, even used, £69 each, and they're going to look really stunning and really, really beautiful. Big utensil pots, which I'm going to use as like a planter. Just really, really beautiful bits. So that's my little video, a very little random one. As I say, I'm not very good at talking today because my mum's completely talked me all out. But I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. Let me know what your favourites are, and also let me know what your best ever find from the charity shop was. I'm going to say my best ever find from a charity shop, I'm going to have a little think about that, because I've had some really good bits. I got a mulberry bag once, a little navy crossbody mulberry bag. I showed that like last year. That was really nice, and that's really beautiful quality. Yeah, I don't know what my favourite is, but there are some really beautiful finds that you can find in the charity shop. So I'm going to go now, guys. I've been Rosie Henshaw. See you later. Take care. Bye.